Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining us for today's TinyML talk on MediaTek NeuroPilot Micro by Rituparna Mandal and Max Wu, who are joining us from MediaTek. So hi Ritu, hi Max. So let's get started. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. I'd like to take a minute to thank our TinyML talk sponsors, ARM, who is our TinyML strategic partner, DeepLight, Edge Impulse, Maxim Integrated, Quixo, Reality AI, and SynSense, without which it would be very difficult to organize these talks. Additional sponsorships are still available. Please do get in touch with Olga at tinyml.org for more information. We'd like to mention that we had a very successful TinyML Summit 2021, and we had 5 days of talks by 89 speakers, over 5,000 registered attendees, and 26 sponsoring companies. The videos are actively being uploaded. Quite a lot of them have already been uploaded to our YouTube channel, where you can go check them out. The TinyML Summit 2022 is to be held in January in the Silicon Valley, USA. There's an upcoming TinyML EMEA Technical Forum 2021, which will be virtual but live from June 7th to 10th. The deadline for abstracts ends on 1st of May. Sponsorships are also being accepted. Please get in touch at sponsorships@tinyml.org. The next TinyML talk we would like to remind you is on Tuesday, the April 27th. Michael Zhou and Xingzhen Li from Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology are going to talk about train by weight, accelerated deep learning by data dimensionality reduction. It starts at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And if any of you are interested in presenting, please get in touch at talks@tinyml.org. I'd like to introduce the local committee in India as well. So we have Dr. Chetan Singh Thakur, who is assistant professor at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, with a PhD in neuromorphic engineering. We have Sandeepan Chatterjee, who's a lead data scientist at DXC Technology, where he develops and implements vision-based automation in different fields. We've got Abhishek Nair, who is a PhD student at IISc's Neuronics Lab. His research areas are in low power ML algorithms, and he has a background in semiconductor industry. And I'm Anup Rajput. I'm the co-founder of Envire AI, trying to bring machine learning into the real world. I have a background in semiconductors as well as applied ML. In case you would like to follow us, you can open the LinkedIn page for TinyML India. There's a very active meetup group as well for the local chapter, which is about 450 members strong right now. So we encourage you to join there for more updates. I'd like to introduce the speakers for today. Hi, Ritu. She's the general manager for MediaTek Bangalore, as well as director of the advanced technology team. She has a BTech from Jadavpur University and over 2 decades of experience in the semiconductor industry. We also have Max with us, who is the director of the Computing and AI Technology Group at MediaTek. He's responsible for that AI technology as well as strategy planning. He leads a team to explore all sorts of AI applications with their ICs. He has more than 15 years of experience in semiconductor SoC development and has an MS degree and is joining us today from Taiwan. Over to you, Ritu.
So, a very warm welcome, good morning, good evening to the audiences. I guess we have people joining us from, different parts of the world right now. So today we will, cover the MediaTek NeuroPilot Micro in the series of TinyML talks. So thank you. So before I start, I would really like to thank the TinyML org and especially Anup for giving us this opportunity to share how MediaTek is doing in this field and what we bring to the table as well in terms of TinyML and our vision for changing the world. So the agenda that we will follow is, first I will give a brief introduction of MediaTek. Not sure if everyone is really aware of the different fields that we are working in. I'll talk about Edge AI and its challenges, and how MediaTek solution kind of addresses some of these challenges. And finally, we'll end with our vision. Look at it, MediaTek's portfolio overall, we have a very balanced portfolio. And the first thing that most of you will be aware of is on the mobile computing. And, we are number one in the Android smartphone and ARM-based Chromebook segments, if you look at in this. In addition to that, we have the growth portfolio, where we have many of the, smart home devices and connectivity, voice VADs, power management ASICs. On the power management ASIC side, we're still growing market share, but in the VAD, we are actually number one, similarly in the connectivity and broadband and networking. On the smart home related, actually MediaTek has been number one in the smart TV and the digital TV space for a very, very long time. And this is something that many people are not, fully aware of, and associate MediaTek with mostly smartphones and, feature phones. Of course, on the optical drive and BD player and the feature phones, we continue to be number one, for many years now. So this is overall, the MediaTek portfolio and the different places where we make, we make an impact and have devices across in the market. Now, if you look at it, from an overall, timeline perspective, MediaTek came in as a player in around 1997. So this is when we were making the transformation between the personal computer to the desktop internet. And, we were slowly going into the mobile internet area. And if you look at it, we have been continuously moving along with the innovations in the industry. So, moving from the mouse to the touch to now voice activated, where you have IoT, 5G, and AI completely intertwined, with each other, these technologies, to provide a truly connected experience to the end user. And MediaTek is playing at the forefront of all of these technologies to really create an impact in everyday life. So this kind of, reflects a shift in scale that we've been moving on with, the potential opportunity that each new technology has been presenting us with. Now, coming to today's specific topic, and what we have is, if you look at it, we have cloud and cloud AI and edge AI, and the way we look at it is the cloud AI is limited by network traffic, latency, and privacy concerns, right? Whereas you have the edge AI is where the computing significantly improves, and this has been driven mostly by the mobile by the mobile phone technology in the past decade, right? But the future forward in our mind is really a collaboration of the cloud and the edge AI, where the edge server lies in between, and hundreds of TOPS data gets processed through this. So if you look at it, where you have the smart TV, automobile applications, the smartphones, this is where you have the tens of GOPs and TOPs actually, getting processed, and this is heavy computing, on the edge devices. However, there is of course the tiny ML, which is an emerging software, which this community is very well aware of, that enables the machines to really learn and become smarter over time. Now, the ability to deploy machine learning algorithms onto small embedded devices, such as we all have the MediaTek MT3620 MCU. This has actually allowed for the first time to integrate vision, audio, sensor, based AI applications to operate in an always-on mode with low power consumption. And that is, the essence of, I guess, Tiny ML and what we are trying to do with some of these devices. Now, if you look at it, there are, of course, these doesn't come without its own challenges, right? So if you look at the emerging applications, the demand is always for higher computation, complexity, and communication. And not only this, what it actually requires, it requires concurrent incorporation of multiple process engines. So I think, some of the challenges are the algorithms which must be actually small enough to fit into into the microcontroller, and the reference results still need to be good enough. So that is on the algorithm side. And again, on the software and hardware design, so the software really needs to be kind of light enough and which leverages the hardware resources, and that is mandatory to make the whole system work. So if you look at it, from a device constraint, we are typically always limited by the amount of memory and also the kind of thermal dissipation. Whereas if you look at on the spec side, we want to do so much multiple processing and computing at the simultaneously, which allows that always-on experience for the end user. And this is the fine balance that we always kind of have to meet while doing in terms of the design challenges when we are designing the system and the complexity that it kind of presents to us. So if you look at NeuroPilot, which is a MediaTek solution, it talks about, so this is high integration SoC with AI processing engine, and we have the CPU, the GPU, the APU, and the DSP. And the way it is designed is that it is designed with best system performance and power efficiency, right? So what we focus on is heterogeneous computing and the SDK and toolkits for platform-aware optimization, which is very important for kind of merging all these, three factors together. And of course, from finally the end user point of view, it is flexible and easy to use because it supports mainstream AI frameworks, like the TensorFlow, Caffe, and ONS, and across OS, so whether it is Android, Linux, or RTOS, it does support flexibility across all of this. So this is, in a nutshell, what the NeuroPilot, MediaTek solution for these devices that we have come up with. Now, on the NeuroPilot versus the NeuroPilot Micro, so the main objective of the NeuroPilot Micro is to actually simplify and optimize the deployment of the custom application-specific machine learning models on microcontrollers. Now, this coupled with the MediaTek AIT solutions that we have actually enables streamlined and optimized performances for high-performing products. Now, what we have here is, if you look at it, in this, the gray box here, the edge, this actually is a NeuroPilot reference framework, and this Tiny is the NeuroPilot Micro reference framework. And the Tiny reference framework actually leverages, some of the functionality from the main NeuroPilot. So we have the ML kit, and if you look at all these, the boxes in orange, these are the ones which are the MediaTek specific, designs and the value additions that we bring. So the NeuroPilot machine learning kit is used for model optimization. So the TensorFlow model can actually be optimized into a fixed point format, or the model size can be reduced through pruning tools. And the NeuroPilot ML kit tool includes a model converter, which and quantization tool and the network reduction tool. Now, the NeuroPilot Micro runtime as well offers memory and low power optimization mechanisms to enable trained inference to run efficiently on the microcontrollers. So this is, if you look at it, we have for the NeuroPilot, the major difference also is that we have the CPU and the GPU and the APU. And each of the, since the APU is internal, we have our own APU driver as well. And here it's on the microcontroller. And if you look at it right now, what we have is, this hardware accelerator is something that we believe is, really the best solution to make this the most efficient. However, this is still in conceptual stage and, not out there. And this is something that we are working on. So right now it is working, on the microcontroller and optimized .lib. So this is, in a nutshell, the kind of the black box or the flow diagram that we have, which is the difference between the NeuroPilot and the NeuroPilot Micro. Now, if you look at it, we have the NeuroPilot Plus, the i500, i350, and i300. And these are all, the i500 is actually a mid-AI solutions with the AI performance of around, 0.75 TOPS. And it has four cores, CS73 running at 2 gigahertz, and the little core CS53 running at 2 gigahertz as well. The i350, which is a light AI solution, has an AI performance of about, if you look at it, it's a kind of light, it's at 0.45 TOPS. And it has only, the little core running at 2 gigahertz again. And the i300 is a voice solution, the AI voice solution, where the performance is, much lower than all of this and can be used in, lighter devices. So I'll just kind of give you, now if you look at it, these are all the NeuroPilot kind of devices, the different variants of it. And I'll give you an example, or I'll show you an example of the kind of processing and the kind of complexity that we can enable with, this kind of thing. So, okay. The video doesn't seem to be working. So I'll skip that. But these are some of the specification details that we have, on the i300 and i500. I mean, just for your knowledge. So these are the process nodes, and most important, if you look at it, we have the GPU embedded in the i500, which makes it a really fancy kind of application, which allows. So here, this video for some reason is not playing, even though we tried it out. So what we have is, this is a person standing in front of the application, and it is able to detect the heart rate and the wellness of this person and display it on the screen. So this is done using, this chipset. So in addition, what we have is the NeuroPilot Micro Pilot. So for example, here we have, 2 Cortex M4s. And I mean, this is again, just a sample block diagram. But what we have is, we have 2 Cortex M4s, which allow simultaneous recognition of, let's say, shelf status detect and a person. And again, I have no idea what happened to the video. But what we have is, what we have here is, you have a shelf which has, let's say, a particular thing that, this program is supposed to detect. And this NeuroPilot Micro is a simpler program which actually enables detection of that particular thing. And here in this case, this was a Pepsi bottle that was kept, on the shelf. So it will enable detection of the Pepsi bottle. And for example, if you replace that Pepsi bottle with a Coke, it will actually detect that it is something other. So this is through, learning inferences that has been built into, into this application through machine learning. And what we have is, you have 2 different cores here, which if you would like to kind of detect the person as well as the object in parallel, that is something that these kind of processing units will actually allow you to do. So if you look at it, just like I was mentioning in the NeuroPilot Micro, so you have the 2 AI processors, and this will allow you parallel detection of the object as well as, the person, if that is what you would like your program to do. with the Tiny Vision AI at dual 200 megahertz, and this is concurrently for real time, and it will display the results on your final board here. So if you look at the performance benchmark, the MediaTek IP actually provides good performance for TinyML, and with the SoC that we have, for example, I mentioned the MT3620. The power of model running on DRAM with NeuroPilot Micro has actually similar power as the TCM, which is typically something that is definitely not easy to get. So if you look at it, on the performance detection, if you look at the performance benchmark, we are about 18% better on speed, compared to competition, and this is between the with DRAM. This is the model running on the DRAM with the NeuroPilot Micro, compared to a TCM. And similarly, on the power part, again, if you look at it, we are about 1/3, the power on the 4G, and with the Dimensity 100, we are about 20% of the power, which is really required on a real time to have, like I mentioned, always on applications, so performance, but which requires very low power to enable it to be always on. So this is some of the kind of benchmarking data that we have, and as you can see, it is pretty good for TinyML kind of applications with the SoC that we have, and the power of the model running on the DRAM and NeuroPilot Micro. So if you look at it, into way back in almost 3 years ago at NIPS, Jeff Dean mentioned that, machine learning is for systems and systems is for machine learning. So I think we are finally at a stage where, we have entered that kind of era where we have systems, for example, you have the NeuroPilot Micro or the NeuroPilot, which is the system that has been developed, and you're integrating machine learning into it, which kind of leads to the systems that will finally interface with the real world. So, whether it is in your smart homes, whether it is in the healthcare aspect, whether it is, face recognition, whatever you can kind of envision in terms of machine learning built on these systems to make a difference in the real world and create systems that will actually, help you is the kind of cycle that we are talking about today, right? And I think, this is something that was predicted quite some time back, and this is a reality with the kind of systems that we are building today. And our mission is very simple: to really be the change catalyst and empowering our partners, because, at the end of the day, it has to be partners and end users who build applications, with these devices that actually connect to the next billion people, right? So we actually believe anyone can achieve something amazing, and that's what we call our everyday genius. And everything we do is dedicated to making that possible. So wrapping up, just to focus on what we talked about, what we believe is really that cloud and edge collaboration will be the trend moving forward. And the key technologies to TinyML, like I mentioned, will be the ultra low power hardware, which actually enables, the systems and applications to really be always on. The other thing is the integration of the software to be ultra lightweight and runtime efficient, to be integrated and leverage the hardware that is available to finally, provide the end user experience, and also have a more accuracy efficient model, which, which is efficient, but at the same time, it actually, the results, after the inference, the results that it provides is, really makes sense, right? So on the MediaTek AI platform, what we have, as I showed before, is the i500, i350, i300 with the NeuroPilot, and the MT3620 is with the NeuroPilot Micro. And, as we all know, but, a conglomeration or coming together of the IoT, 5G, and AI are really the key enabling technologies to our intelligent future. And in each of these spaces, at least, as a company, MediaTek is playing a very leading role in bringing these technologies kind of together and changing the end user experience. So that's all I had. For further information, you may contact any of us, either Max, my colleague in Taiwan, who is actually leading and director for all this effort. And you may also visit our website for NeuroPilot online document. This is where you will find even the user manuals and various things to help you get started working on our platform. So thank you very much for your time, and we would be very happy to take any questions that the audience may have.
Thank you so much, Ritu. So now we'll be waiting for questions, if there are any. I think we had one question from Seeger Fisher, who wanted to know the physical dimensions for the i300 and the i500 platforms. So,
the physical dimensions for the i300 and i500.
yes.
Okay, Max, you want to take that?
Yes, but I'm not sure. Is he asking the chip size or module size?
If we could provide a rough estimate of, both, whichever you might have a reference for right away.
Okay. Oh, passes not. Yeah. Yeah, it's M. Yeah, you can see this. Is 12. i500 is 12, and the i300 is 28 nanometer.
Yeah, okay. I think Anup, we may not have the chip size right now. Maybe we can get back with that.
Sure. So we'll be posting this. So any answer that we could not possibly take right now, we'll be trying to post them on the forums for people to reference.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think there's also a question about the technology node at which these power numbers are quoted, but I think Max has just answered that as well.
Yeah. So yeah, one is on 28 nanometers, and the latest one is on 12 nanometers. Yes.
So is there any limitation in terms of what kind of algorithm this NeuroPilot can support, or it is across all the ML and deep learning, all the possible algorithm it supports? Any idea? Do you want to comment on that?
So Max, you want to take that? I think the question is, is there any limitation on the kind of algorithms the NeuroPilot Micro supports, or does it support all the standard ML algorithms, right, Chetan? That's the question.
Yes. Yeah. And one more thing, follow up that. So I'm assuming NeuroPilot Micro has Cortex M4, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So we've got another question. So we would really encourage that the questions go in the Q&A as far as possible, because it might get missed in the chat window. But still, Harish Babu is asking a question about the inference width. So do you support 16-bit or 32-bit, or maybe both?
Yeah, Max, you need to answer.
Yeah, it's 8-bit.
It's 8-bit only?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anup, I think my question is not answered. Can you please check?
Yeah.
About the kind of algorithms?
Yeah.
So probably, so are we limited in terms of, being only able to move, let's say, from a framework like TensorFlow, or is it like, something that we can possibly port custom deep, machine learning algorithms also, and take advantage of the accelerators which are built into MediaTek platforms? So Chetan, did I get the question right?
Yeah. So hi, Max. Well, would you be able to answer that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Max, are we limited to something
Yeah,
like
sorry,
TensorFlow?
I can hear very well.
Okay. Now, the question is, the question is, are we limited by any algorithms, like the TensorFlow, or are we flexible with, the other machine learning algorithms that are, out there?
So I think given Dr. Chetan's background, he would probably be asking whether he can design an algorithm and, port it over to your platform. Is that doable?
Because the limitation is Cortex M4, right? So I'm just wondering how big you can port it over there, whether deep learning can be ported and all that. So that's what I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Currently, for NeuroPy Micro, we support the TensorFlow Lite Micro at current stage, and we are planning to support our NeuroPilot format. Yeah, because in our SoC, we will try to use the NeuroPy Micro to control the APU on the SoC. So that is a powerful extension for the TinyML on the SoC on the edge device. Yeah. For this question, currently we support TensorFlow Lite Micro for the ecosystem. And the inference wise, because we based on the Cortex M4 and our own IP based on the RISC-V processor, so it can support from 8 to 32 bit fixed point processing. Yeah.
Do you support simultaneous, on the same platform, maybe 5G or 4G connectivity as well as AI machine learning acceleration on any of these small devices?
Max, do we support simultaneous 5G, 4G connectivity as well as AI, on our MT3620?
Yeah, actually,
MT3620 support Wi-Fi.
Only Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You've got Wi-Fi and machine learning on the same platform.
Yeah.
And iWiFi can support the 4G. Yeah, we have the next product for the IoT can support 5G.
Mm-hmm. So we've got a question from John Mays, who wants to confirm whether NeuroPilot Micro as well as NeuroPilot, both of them only support TensorFlow Lite Micro. Is that correct?
Yeah, our current solution only the NeuroPilot Micro support TensorFlow Lite Micro, but we do some additional operation supporting for some specific inference model, and we will keep extending the operations for supporting more models. Yeah, and our first goal is to close to the TensorFlow Lite, and our goal is to we'll try to design the operations to benefit to benefit the model by our APU or our proprietary hardware accelerators. This is our next mission.
So I guess since we do not have any more questions live at the moment, I'd like to thank you, Ritu and Max, for taking the time out today and sharing all this with us. And we look forward to what you do, what more you build on top of this as well. So, okay, we would again like to take this moment to thank our sponsors, ARM, DeepLight, Edge Impulse, Maxim Integrated, Quixo, Reality AI, and Synsense. And additional sponsorships are still available. You could contact Olga at tinyml.org for the same. ARM, who provides the complete software and hardware foundation for TinyML. DeepLight uses AI to make other AI faster, smaller, and more power efficient. You could become a beta user for them as well. Edge Impulse provides TinyML for all developers. Maxim Integrated, enabling edge intelligence. The new Max 78000 implements AI inference at low energy levels, enabling complex audio and video inferencing to run on small batteries. Quixo AutoML, they provide an automated machine learning platform that builds TinyML solutions for the edge using sensor data. Reality AI, they add advanced sensing to your product with Edge AI or TinyML. Synsense, building sensing and inference hardware for ultra low power devices on the edge. They design systems for real-time, always-on smart sensing. We would like to remind you about the next TinyML talk coming up on April 27th by Michael Zhou and Xingzhen Lin from Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology on Train by Weight, Accelerated Deep Learning by Data Dimensionality Reduction. It will be starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Please get in touch at talks@tinyml.org if you're interested in presenting yourself. So I guess that's the end of what we had to present for today. And again, thank you so much, Rituparna and Max, for sharing all this with us. And thank you everyone for joining us today as well. So we'll be sharing these videos and the presentation online as well. And you could always subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the pre-recorded this session's recording as well.